7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, greetings everyone. This is me, Zahra, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. Last time I made some mistakes, blunders, but I hope they're not as bad as the blunders the Quran has made and this religion has made. Even my imams, my 12 imams, in explaining all this, that God is beyond his existence even, so that we can never find that God, the true God, his essence. He doesn't even have an essence. What Mullah Sadra has said about this, does existence precede essence? So on this also, and there will be some obstacles here that I can feel. Oh God, Surah. So used to Mullah Sadra, you can read this, but whatever it is, existence or essence, preceding, it doesn't come near to God. Then we have some Muslims will go to Sufism, taking from the Hindus Advaita Vedanta, and like Rupert Spara, and debate discussion between Rupert Spera and Dr. Deepak Chopra. So this Rupert Spira will help the Muslims go to their Sufi Islam, leave Islam, Sunni Islam, the organized religion. So nearness to Allah. Now here I've come again, Imam Ali and Quran. I'm sorry, I get quite confused even as a Shia with Imam Ali saying, because on this I get, it's like when I had allergy, I used to have this cloudy, taking medicine, anti-allergy, a little bit understanding. So I had this impediment that I need to talk about. I don't know how many of you will come here and make fun of that or may not like it. So if you don't want to follow me, you don't have to follow me. You want to remain in your Sufism, your Islam, whatever, remain in that, please. Please don't come here disturbing and distracting me. Sermon 179, Imam Ali, who I was told Imams talk in parables, so very few will get it. I used to get confused in this. He is near to things, but not contiguous or contiguous, not sharing meaning. He is far from them, but not physically, but not separate from them. Okay, so in my previous live stream, if I've said something mistaking Imam Ali's saying on this nearness of Allah and Allah being far, then I apologize and I will do my best to correct myself. So the Nizari Smileys are in this belief of God, the oneness of God, and not only that, but that God is beyond beyond existence. It's the thing that it just didn't sit with me later on when I needed God and I wanted to be like there are people who, maybe like them wanting to actually know who God is and what God is, and I felt there was no way I could with my religion. So there were some great things about my religion, Shia Islam. However, this was very, like, I felt I didn't have words. Like I would get stuck finding out, but I can't get to God because God is above existence and non-existence also. So really, what is this God? God is above his attributes. So I can read all this out. First of all, so Ismaili, Nizari Ismailis and Shias, 12 Shias, have the same on this theology on God, right? Belief on God is that uh, is the preeminent negative or apophatic theology of Islam because it affirms the absolute oneness of God, Tawheed, through negating all names, descriptions, conceptions, and limitations from God. So anyone who would tell me that this is man-made, I would not agree to it, but I didn't know how to. Even the Hindus, if they told me that this religion was man-made, I would not agree to it because Imam Ali has told us that God is beyond our conceptions. All minds put together cannot know him. And all these negation of all his names, meaning descriptions or even all names, all descriptions, all conceptions and limitations from God. So this is the same as for the Nizari Ismailis, how they believe in this is the same for the 12 Shias. Source is Wikipedia. I've taken all this from Wikipedia. Nizari Ismailis, the theology on God. God is beyond both positive and negative qualities. He is not knowing and not knowing. And he is not powerful and not powerful. Meaning, I think what it means not knowing is that he's the source of all knowing. Right? He's the source. Just put source there. He's the source of powerfulness. God is beyond all philosophical and metaphysical categories, spiritual, material, cause, effect, eternal, temporal, substance, accident, essence, attributes, and existence, essence. God is above existence and non-existence. When God is associated with a name or attribute in scripture, ritual, or everyday speech, example, God is knowing. The real meaning of the statement is that God is the source. See? God is the source and originator of that power or quality, i.e., God is the originator of all knowledge, but he himself is beyond actually possessing knowledge as an attribute. God's creative act is called his word or command. His command is a single, eternal, and continuous act, which continually gives existence to and sustains all created or conditioned realities in every moment of their existence. So even the word of God, like Jesus, is not God himself. In essence, or even in essence, God doesn't have an essence. God is the source of all essence. And essence is, if I may say it like that. So in Najul Balagha, I tried to come through this way to show the Shias and help 12 Shias, all Shias, even Sufis are welcome here. If you like to cooperate with me right now, as I failed, and you can see till the end how I failed. Coming through it as a for the Shias to show them. Then maybe I'll then after this go to duality and the problem of duality. But God we cannot know in this religion. He's the source of all knowledge. So Najul Balagha Sermon 179, Imam Ali, with due respect to all you Shias who have thought that they've understood even the parables of their Imams on this and their philosopher, you are very eloquent and you've understood all this. Very good. I haven't. And I get confused and make mistakes. Eyes cannot see him face to face, but hearts perceive him through the realities of belief. This might put you off that I've made a mistake, blunders, but through trial and error, I make mistakes. It's not a big deal for me. even on this religion. He is near to things but not physically, meaning contiguous, or contiguous meaning sharing with. He's near to things or people or everything, but not, or everyone and all. He's near to all, but not in the physical sense, sharing with them. Contiguous means, I think, sharing. He is far from them, but not physically separate. He's far from them, but not separate. So physically, it kind of a little bit, I get confused here, sorry, just bear with me. So he's far from them, but not separate from them. So how is he far from them? Like I showed you an ayat from Surah Nahl, ayat 1. He's far above what they associate with them. Maybe that's what Imam Adi means. Christina Avila, sister, our area has a mosque. Is that a concern or not? It's in America, by the way. A smile. Why would it be of concern to you? Sister, why would it be of concern to you? So I don't think it should be of concern to you. Sister, if you want to know about if you have concerns, then any concerns you may report it to your, this is not like some, right, it's not like some spiritual thing that you cannot, and why are you asking me here? I will not be able to advise you in the best way. So please, if you can, if there are any concerns, then you should ask your local community leader or those local community head, whether you should have concerns. Oh, I see. Thank you. You're most welcome, Christina Avila. Most welcome. So I'm on this topic, sister. Please, Badi Khan Zahra. Please don't take my name like this. क्या है आपका, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? अरे मुसलमानों, आपका क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मेरा नाम क्यों ले रहे हो? So this Najul Balagha, Imam Ali says this, आप थोड़ा सब्र नहीं कर सकते हैं? जब तक मैंने ये ख़त्म नहीं किया है, मेरे पास टाइम भी नहीं है आपके, एक तो बार बार अजानें हो रहे हैं. शक्ति कपूर, क्या ये है? आपकी शादी हो गई है? ये मुसलमान आप लोग ऐसे आ रहे हैं? अच्छा, अब हिंदू नेम लेके, ये स्टिक टू द टॉपिक. ये कौन है आखिर, ये बेगैरत? कौन हो तुम लोग? Really, we have such horrid people. बेगैरत हो. मैं अब तुमसे शादी करूंगी. मेरा और भी दिमाग ख़राब हो गया है क्या? अच्छा, दुबई आओ, शारजा शेख से, मेरा शारजा शेख से पूछो, ठीक है? शक्ति कपूर, मैं इमाराती हूँ. मुझसे शादी करोगी? बिल्कुल भी नहीं. ओके, और कुछ आपको डिस्टर्बेंस करनी है आउट ऑफ टॉपिक? बस मुझे नहीं करना है. अभी आप मुझे छोड़ेंगे? आई एम ट्राइंग टू हेल्प माई शियाज. कैन यू अलाउ मी? If you don't, then if you're distracting me, I'll have to ओके, ऐसा पूछे मुझे नहीं, वो लुबना जी भी बहुत गुस्सा करती है इस पे। कुछ हमें हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता ऐसा आप लोग पूछे ना, ये बहुत चीप लगता है, आपकी तरबियत बड़ी चीप वे में हुई है। अभी आप ये छोड़ दें और थोड़ा सा वो जाने के टॉपिक पे रहें, ठीक है? कैसे टॉपिक पे रहते हैं, कैसे लाइव स्ट्रीम्स पे आते हैं, क्या कमेंट करना चाहिए और क्या नहीं करना चाहिए। Okay, so sorry about this. So all this I've done and failing because we can never get like a merging with Allah. That's what I wanted. If I could in any way find out who this Allah is, it became such a crazy thing that I wanted to touch him, even as a Shia, when we're not allowed anything. He's beyond his attributes. Najul Balagha Imam Ali has explained this. So, can Allah ever be far from anything while near it? Well, Imam Ali, it seems like this saying of Imam Ali, this parable, or however, very clearly the Shias would say he's explained it, and there's no paradox here, right? Since he is close to them, but not in sharing with them anything physically, even, or even non-physically, not sharing with them. Imam Ali, they should have put here, not in any way sharing with them, whether physically or non-physically. And then he is far from them, but not physically separate. So, मुझे तो नहीं लगता शक्ति कपूर. I don't think you are. I think you are Shia with. Maybe you have some anxiety about this, since I've put helping the Shias see the problem. I think this is your anxiety. So if you would bear with me, brother, this will help the Shias. Even though I fail, but we can, failing pass maybe. But failing show you that we can never come close to this one God, and how the Prophet Muhammad has taken over all this. So even the light of Allah is not not Allah himself. His attribute is not him. Like here it is, I think they give examples of originator, power, or quality. God is the originator of all knowledge, but he himself is beyond actually possessing knowledge. So these are just sources, his attributes. Even when Allah states in Surah Nur ayat 35 that Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, the Shias take it, both 12er Shias, Ismaili Shias, maybe even Bori Shias, that Allah is beyond his attribute. The light is his attribute. So I try to come from nearness to Allah, and this is how you get nearness to Allah. So I get confused on this when I was a Shia even. Okay, now Imam Ali saying, let's see if I can, what else? Surah 50 ayat 16 says, and we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. But according to Shias, this closeness, this nearness, the nearness of Allah is Allah's attribute, and how he can be close I'll show you through the Ismaili and a little bit from the mostly heavily on the banned group of the Ismailis, Hikmat-e Khana, since the website is there on Quran ayats, the tafsirs are there. I can explain it like that and show you through their tafsirs about these Quran ayats. So how do we get close to Allah, and how is Allah close to us? And how do we get close to Allah also? That would come later, I think. But before that, I have to explain how Allah is close to us, near to us. Can Allah ever be far from anything when He says He is near? That would be a paradox. But a paradox may not have a logical fallacy when you look at it properly. And what is a paradox? So I'll give you the definition. It's given below, which I will read out. And Imam Ali has not been in the previous live stream. I said that Imam Ali has there's a logical fallacy here. Maybe not. And if this, I'm confused about this. Imam Ali saying, and if this is a paradox, then it needs to be explained, like Hazrat Khizr explained the purpose of his actions to Moses afterwards. Surah Kaf ayats. Paradox definitions from the Oxford Languages Dictionary. So what does paradox mean? In noun, a seemingly absurd or contradictory statement or proposition which, when investigated, may prove to be well-founded or true. The uncertainty principle leads to all sorts of paradoxes, like the particles being in two places at once, or the quantum principles, rules. A statement or proposition which, despite sound or apparently sound reasoning from acceptable, this is another definition. The second definition of paradox is a statement or proposition which, despite sound or apparently sound reasoning from acceptable premises, leads to a conclusion that seems logically unacceptable or self-contradictory, the liar paradox. So we will take the first definition of paradox here. Can Allah ever be far from anything when He says He is near? He is far from them, separate. He is far from them, separate physically. He is near to them but not sharing, contiguous physically. Okay, I get confused in this. So no paradox. The Shias would say no, there's no paradox. Imam Ali has explained it, how he is far and how Allah is far and how Allah is near. It's a self-explanatory statement. Okay? Okay, we go with the Shias on that, right? That Imam Ali saying on this, Allah's nearness and farness. And we even take Surah Nahl ayat 1, which I gave in my previous live stream, that far above is Allah from what they associate with Him. Anyways, I don't know if I can bring this ayat into this kind of example, what Imam Ali has said. So it's a very confusing statement. It confuses me. So I'll just leave that for now and just correct myself from my previous live stream. However, let's go ahead with this. God is beyond all names. Taking the Ismaili Shia belief on this about God. God is beyond all names and attributes, including every name and attribute mentioned in the Quran, such as the powerful, the living, the first, the last, etc. God is beyond matter, energy, space, time, and change. Wikipedia Nizari Ismaili. Now, keeping this in mind, just this in mind, right? That He's the source of all things and He's beyond all this, His attributes and everything. So if you say, when God says in Surah 50 at 16, we are closer to Him than His jugular vein, this closeness is just something that God has. It's His attribute, His, and I don't know how He's closer than your jugular vein, but God is beyond. God can't come in His God is beyond existence. It means he cannot. So how is he close? He may have created some kind of closeness. Surah 28, Ayat 88. Let's see. Cut myself short here. Do not call out to any other God besides God, for there is no God but him. Everything will perish except his face. So God, again, you see, it doesn't say that everything will perish except God, but it says that everything will perish except his face. His judgment is what is important here in Surah Qasas. Surah 28, Ayat 88 is that everything will perish, everything will be destroyed except his face. So his face will not be destroyed, and so definitely he cannot be destroyed. But it's not even said that. So it goes for the Shias and even his face is other than him. That is, nothing is him. He is beyond his face even. So his face is an attribute or something. Sorry, I haven't understood properly. But anyways, going like this. Khana Hikmat Ismaili Band group on this. Wait a minute. Yeah, so on Surah Qasas and with another ayat, I went to the Khana Hikmat website, right? The mono reality, and God says that he is nearer to man than his jugular vein. Surah 50 at 16. Yes, on this ayat, that's where God can be so close. How can Azal and Dahar be far? It is obvious. You will find what is Dahar and what is Azal. Right now, we don't need to understand this. Just reading, let's see if we can find out later on. It is obvious that it is not possible for a big or small secret to be away from the ultimate destination in which the supreme honor of the divine vision is attained and in which everything exists. While the Quran says sacrifice everything for the face of God in the form of knowledge and recognition. Surah Qasas ayat 88 and Surah 55 ayat 27. Surah Rahman ayat 27, I think. So that you may be able to see everything in its manifestations. And this is the clear meaning and the significance of Surah Ar-Rahman, image of the compassionate. Sublime realities taken from Khana Hikmat website. For this ayat, I wanted to bring this from Surah 50 ayat 16. He's closer to their jugular vein. To Surah 28 ayat 88. Everything will be destroyed but his face. So you can see his manifestations, but you can never see God himself. You can see his manifestations, but never see God himself. Hab al-Warid, jugular vein, the vein which goes from the heart, Hab al-Warid, from the heart to the brain. So the jugular vein, the vein which goes from the heart to the brain. Okay, now we go we're still on the Ismaili Band, Khana Hikmat group about this, the tafsir from them. Surah 50 ayat 16 says, and indeed we created man and we know what his soul whispers to him, and we are nearer to him than his jugular vein. If God is so near to the eye of his servant, then every moment is annihilated. Every believer is annihilated in him potentially in him. And how does that happen? Now, in order to be actually annihilated in Allah, in him, he has to eradicate insinuation, waswasa, and the carnal soul once and for all. This special work can be accomplished through fana fil imam, annihilation in the imam, and fana fil rasul, annihilation in the prophet. 1,000 wisdoms. Okay? This can only happen if you get annihilated. This is the way. not in Allah Himself, not in God Himself. But this special work can be accomplished through the Fanafil Imam and the Fanafil Rasul, who are the light, they are the light of God. And you can only get annihilated in them. Or by their help, no. This special work can be accomplished through Fanafil Imam, annihilation in the Imam, and annihilation in the Prophet, but not annihilation in him. And because they also use the word potentially here. So the servant of God, God is near to his servant, and every believer is annihilated in him, potentially, not God himself, but his light, the Imam and Rasulullah. Right? Okay, let's see. Caused by the Satan, this waswasa, and the weak waswasas of the second stage by the nafs, by the carnal soul also, this waswasa is caused by the Satan and the soul, carnal soul of a human being. As God says, we verily created the man, and we know what his nafs causes, his soul causes, waswasa, whispering to him, and we are nearer to him than his jugular vein. Surah 50 at 16. The Tawilic wisdom of this verse is that the God who created man physically is also going to create him spiritually. But God knows why the spiritual creation has been delayed. The cause of this delay is the waswasa of the nafs, the whispering of the soul, whose remedy is in benefiting from the divine knowledge, i.e. reality. In the light of this knowledge, it will be known how the nafs causes, how the soul causes the whispering, the waswasa. What is its remedy, and what kind of help can be received from God, as he is nearer than the jugular vein. But like he's nearer than the jugular vein. Oh, so how do we find out, and how is this nearness now? Through the Ismaili band group, tafsirs, about this. How is God nearer to us than our jugular vein? He is near, but we are not near him. So once we get knowledge and help from Imam and the knowledge of God through the Imam and Rasulullah and the Quran. I mean, the Quran is Rasulullah. Given knowledge to God gave knowledge to Rasulullah. The Quran, which is the Quran. The law of nature and the divine acts are with the people. When one realizes that God is the light of the heaven and the earth, don't be mistaken. Here, when they say this, I mean, they're just quoting the ayat. And closer to man than his own jugular vein, what secret then is hidden in the saying that he sent messengers? So then, okay, so jumping to another, the light verse, the sun is the light, Surah Nur 35, of the external world, the meaning of which shows that in the world of religion and the world of humanity as well, there is a holy personality who is the light of God. So this is all created, right? Even the light of God is a holy personality, and the light of God is not God himself. God is beyond existence. And the prophet, and he, okay, so there is a holy personality who is the light of God, and the prophet, and he, due to his knowledge, wisdom, and supreme character, is most excellent and eminent among people, just as the sun is among the heavenly bodies. This evidence of the heavenly bodies is like those verses of the Quran in which it is established that the perfect man, i.e. the Imam of the time, is the light of God. So God is the light of the heaven and the earth, and closer to man than his jugular vein. What is the secret then is hidden in saying that he sent messengers nearer. So God is nearer to you. How is he nearer to you than your jugular vein? I think what they're trying to say is that when you get annihilated with this knowledge and help of the Imam and Rasulullah before the Imam, then this is how you realize that God is near to you or something, right? God is not light. Light is an attribute of Allah. Okay, in Surah Nur ayat, this also making it clear that Surah Nur ayat 35, God says He is light of the heavens and the earth. But God Himself is not this light. The light is an attribute of Allah. God is beyond all names. Again, Wikipedia, Nizari Ismaili. I don't know if you have understood all this that I've read out. Like, try to, in a broken way, tell you that what happens is when the Tawalic wisdom of this verse is that the God who created man physically is also going to create him spiritually. It's so confusing, my God. I don't know if I've even been able to explain to you. You get, so how do we get near to God? How is God near to us? I'm sorry, I just don't understand. Trying to. So this week, even from this tafsir, this band, you can try to understand what they're trying to say, because it's too intellectual, and it's I can't seem to understand all this. Too complicated for me. So the third proof is Allah guides onto. I just want to know if we can get near to Allah. So another, okay, this one, Surah 50 at 16, doesn't have any translations, but I've gone, no, it does. Sorry, it does. One of the ayats didn't have a translation direct, correction. Tafsir, explanation. Finally, it's also necessary to mention the cause of above mentioned two stages of waswasa. The nafs, when the nafs is rid of this waswasa, the tawilic wisdom of this verse is that God who created man physically is also going to create him spiritually. But God knows why. If you can understand this, I'll be very grateful. Spiritual creation has been delayed. The cause of this delay is and causes the viswasa. So, i.e., reality. No, wait a minute. So, divine knowledge benefiting. You can read all this. In the light of this knowledge, it will be known how the nafs causes the waswasa and what is its remedy and what kind of help can be received from God, as He is nearer than the jugular vein. In the first hemistish, there is the allusion to the Quran verse. I guess I'll have to read all this. And we are nearer to Him than His jugular vein. That is to say that the living photo of divine light, which has been explained under number 1, is extremely close to believers. Thus, in this sense of representation, if He has stayed in my poor heart, then why should it not be a surprising thing? For there is nothing in my heart which is worthy of His dignity. Habal al-Warid, jugular vein. And now, in order to actually annihilate in him, he has to eradicate insinuation and the carnal soul once and for all. The special work can be accomplished through Fanafil Imam and Fanafil Rasul. And then, are we annihilated in God? The law of nature and the divine act are with people who one realizes. Light of heaven, earth, closer to man, his jugular vein. What secret then is hidden in the saying that he sent messengers, revealed books and sent the soul, and that he sent the light? Surah 4 ayat 174 is not the concept of spatial remoteness and height found in this kind of saying. The answer is that such sayings are only examples, mithal, yani amthal, and veils and the meanings, mamtulat, and veiled realities are truly wondrous. Had Azal been an infinite time of the remotest past, I feel like crying, then people would have been further and further away as time passes, but God, the Beneficent, does not will so. God says He is nearer to man than his jugular vein, Surah 50 ayat 16. That's where God can be so close. How can Azal and Dahar be far? It is obvious that it is not possible for a big or small secret to be away from the ultimate destination in which the supreme honor of the divine vision is attained. Please, if God is not, I'm sorry, I can't understand all these things. So the most simple thing was to go to Hindus and find out, oh, there's the Shiva, and he is, and there's nothingness, and so this is God. And after meditating, you can reach that pure awareness. And when you reach the pure awareness, that is God. Anyways, so it was very easy without all this explanation and intermediaries and everything is attribute and God is beyond existence. And there is no God but Him. Everything will perish except His face. How I found out Shia belief is wrong about Allah being beyond existence. This ayah, pay attention, please, pay attention to this ayah very closely and closely examine the ayah and the previous ayah before it. Surah 25, ayat 59. How I could get these Shias. It's not that saying, please look, this is all intellectual nonsense. And okay, the Imam may, anyone may reach that who have tried, and okay, his progeny is from Prophet Muhammad and all this, and he's got the light of God, he's got a lot of knowledge, he's got full knowledge, he's fully marfat, fully enlightened. But what can he give you? He cannot give you God, merging unity with God. And yet they say this is the unity with God. This is the oneness of God is what? This is no. Yet we believe in the oneness of God. The oneness of God is only that Allah is, there is no God but Allah, the one. And now where was I? Jumped. Okay? Here I was. So the only way, now cut myself away from all this, because it's no way that I can prove what Imam Ali, against Imam Ali, he said that God is above his existence even. So then, ever living who will never die, Allah living attribute, never dying, the attribute of Allah never dies. Okay, so God is, where was I? Fana, unreachable God, Shia Islam belief. Oh, it jumped. And then I took the Shia, 12er Shia also commentary on this. Where's the 12er Shia commentary on this? So getting Fana annihilated is in God's light, but not God Himself, the unreachable God in Shia Islam belief. Impossible to prove to Shias that God is the isness or I am presence, like doing it through Muji Baba or pure awareness. Even this says pure awareness is a creation of God. God is beyond pure awareness. Even the isness, the I am presence, this is an attribute of God. God is beyond this. Even if I give them Quran ayats, Allah is living and doesn't die. Like Allah is living and doesn't die. And if I can prove that this pure awareness is also living and doesn't die, still they would say that the living thing is an attribute of God and not dying. Well, that's so they can't explain to me the not dying of God. But they'll say that this ever living, which is an attribute of God, the living I, is not God Himself. And everything will die but the face of Allah. So Surah 25, Ayat 58, says, O Muhammad, put your trust in Him who is ever living, who will never die, and glorify Him and His praises. He suffices as the knower of the sins of His servants. Okay. He suffices, Surah 25, Ayat 58. But Allah is living, an attribute of Allah. Yeah, never dying, the attribute of Allah that never dies. Everything will perish but His face. Even His face is an attribute that would not be destroyed. Oh, whatever. Okay, Surah 28, again, Surah 28, Ayat 88. Is there no God but Him? Everything will perish except His face. Right? How I found out Shia belief is wrong about Allah being beyond existence, this ayah, pay attention to it closely, and the ayah previous. Surah 25, ayah 59 says, ask concerning Him the one who knows, or is it He is the best informed, God is the best informed? Translation of Abdul Halim, or ask concerning Him the one who knows. Again, asking Prophet who is aware when Allah has made us to testify. Why? Okay, for a certain reason you can say we can ask the Prophet. He will remind us that He give us the knowledge about His attributes, His signs, giving us His signs that He has given us here in the ayats. Like this also reminding us. But Allah has told us to bear witness to Him. No. Allah has made us bear witness to Him in the ayat. But before going to that ayat, previous ayat of Surah 25, ayat 25 is 58. Allah tells Muhammad that Allah suffices as the knower. The same word is used as in Surah 25, ayat 59 also. The same surah, the next surah, Khabira. And the same is used. So here, Surah 25, ayat 58 says, O Muhammad, put your trust in Him who is ever living, who will never die, and glorify Him with His praise here. With His praise to be noted, but it's not important for this. He suffices, He's sufficient as the knower of the sins of His servants. And then in Surah 25, ayat 59, it states, it is He who created the heavens and the earth and what is between them in 6 days, and then established Himself on the throne. He is the Lord of mercy. He is the best informed. Okay, so if you say that I take this translation, that I don't take this translation that Allah is the best informed, but I take the translation, so ask Him who is informed. How can this part of the ayat be translated? First of all, then ask Him who is informed about God. Okay, ask Him who is informed about God. So if you say you want to take this translation of the ayat, ask concerning Him the one who knows. Abul Alam Ududis. Let's go with this translation. Then to ask Prophet Muhammad and or Imams, or both, then whose souls are pure. Okay, so the Imam, Prophet Muhammad, asked them, and the Shias will want me to explain more about this so that they don't get into trouble with the Sunnis or something like this, or have anxiety here. Whose souls are pure and they are the light of Allah, and what they can do is provide us knowledge of Allah and then help us annihilate our souls and become one with the light of Allah, I guess. And that light of Allah is the Prophet, i.e. the Prophet and Imams. But it can never be, or an attribute of Allah, but it can never be Allah Himself. So Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. His light is like the niche. And so the Shia commentary, 12th Shia commentary also I've given here, the great mystery of the existence. Shias, the 12th Shias about the light say that the physical light, wait a minute, the light of Allah, the great mystery of existence, its eternal origin and infinite permanence is described in the most comprehensive and eloquent parable of light, which contains layer upon layer of allegorical comparisons, to make apparent to man the purpose of the great author of the universe. The physical light, author of the universe is God. The physical light is but a reflection of the true light in the realm of reality, and that true light is Allah. Now here is where the maybe the Ismaili Shias and the 12 Shias differ. Here they say the true light is Allah. The 12 Shias say this. The performance of light is to manifest. It is Allah. They've reached this much, to manifest. So this cannot be a creation. Whoever tells you that Allah is a creation, Allah is created, wouldn't it be wrong if we even come this way? So at least the 12 Shias have realized that the performance of light is to manifest, not create. So it is Allah who manifests the universe. See, here they have to say it is Allah. They've come to it, very close to it, that this is not a creation, this is a manifestation. And when you take away the construct of the mind and all this, you'll realize when you come to this light that this is not a creation. However, in the Quran, Allah said, Khalqal, I've created this, I've created all this, I've created the heavens and the earth. So there's a contradiction here. And so thanks to whoever I remembered, thank God, I remembered to take the Shia side on this, because it also differs in this way to the Allah is, they at least say that light is Allah. But even this, like, if Imam Ali's Najul Balagha saying taken on this, then the Ismaili is more right about this, that this light is an attribute of Allah, but it's not Allah himself, right? You get it? It's not Allah himself. But here is where they differ on the light. If I'm not mistaken, if I got it properly, right? So the human beings can only, sorry, the children are playing and there's a lot of noise in the background. The human beings can only think of the factors of the spiritual world in terms of the phenomenal experiences obtainable through physical senses. I think someone is very, I have to shut the window. Someone really likes Shia 12 hertz here. So, all obstacles in the way they have created for me, in my way. I think the Hindus, the Indians here in Dubai also, like here on my live stream, they're coming to create obstacles to help. They must be really friendly buddy with MQM, yeah. Even Altaf Hassan, right, has joined, wanting Hindus to help them in Pakistan. Hindus reign everywhere, and Shias also. Like he has said, right, that Indian director, कि बजरंग बली और इमाम अली मिल जाएं तो क्या बात हो जाए. Okay, where's my... Okay, so this... अभी यूएई को भी ये हिंदू और शिया मिलके शिया करेंगे. या सूफी हो जाएंगे, सूफीज. You are not going to leave your religion. लेकिन thank you for not getting me killed and for this safety that you have provided for me here in the UAE, Hindus and Shias and Sunnis. Much grateful to you for that. So let's see. Due to the limitations of human experience, man cannot see the real light, but perceive only the lighted objects. So Allah is the light, and He's the manifest, phenomenal world. Light is the purest thing known to man. Due to the limitations of human experience, man cannot see the real light, but perceive only the lighted objects. So the physical experience is an illusion, and because light has drawbacks, now Robert, you can go to Russell, and he can demonstrate for you what this light is, the pure light is. In Nietzsche's Mishkat, now this is the parable God gives, but in the beginning of this verse, he says Allah Himself, about Himself, He says Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, very directly. However, it is placed inside a glass which protects it from any outside interference or disturbance, referred to Surah Saf Ayat 8. The illumination shines bright like a star in this world governed by the laws of the cause and effect. It becomes natural to know what makes the lamp burn. Okay, something started. I have to go now. I'll continue. Sorry, I apologize greatly. I'll continue later on, after an hour or so. Let's see. Thank you so much.